Hari Om and Namaste. I take immense pleasure in inviting you all to this national webinar series, Yoga Ramayana Vishwakosha History. Continuing our series with Professor K. Subramaniam Sir, we have Sri Rama Saushilyam.
वंदे शंभुमुमापतिं सुरगुरुं वंदे जगत्कारणं वंदे पन्नगभूषणं शशिधरं वंदे पशूनां पतिं वंदे सूर्यशशाङ्कवह्निनयनं वंदे मुकुन्दप्रियं वंदे भक्तजन आश्रयं च वरदं वंदे भक्तजन आश्रयं च वरदं वंदे शिवं शंकरं श्रीराघवं दशरथात्मजमप्रमेयं सीतापतिं रघुकुलान्वयरत्नदीपं आजानुबाहु अरविन्ददलायताक्षौ रामौ निशाचरविनाशकरौ नमामि. Esteemed friends, the entire nature is of polarities. Polarities are the pairs of opposites: east west, north south, up down, rich poor, respectable and not respectable, favorable, unfavorable, success, failure. We find everywhere two, 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 two. These are all called polarities or pairs of opposites. We live in this world of pairs of opposites. We live in this time of polarities, and these polarities are unavoidable. In the giant wheel of time, nobody can be on the top always. Nobody can be at the bottom always. There are seasons varying. There are times varying. There are results varying. There are efforts varying. Everywhere there is variation. Everywhere the pendulum moves from the positive phase to the negative phase. Everywhere we come across these pairs of opposites. We call it nature, or we call it fate, or we call it destiny, or we call it divine grace. What is our attitude to these changing polarities? Yogis are unperturbed by these pairs of opposites. They remain same, they remain unperturbed, they remain undisturbed, they keep calm, they are balanced, they don't have the stress or strain when these polarities accost, and that is the yogic calmness. That is the divinity. Sri Ramachandra Prabhu is calm when he was asked to be ready for the throne of Ayodhya. Few hours, maybe a single day, the appointment order was reversed. He was asked to go to the forest. From one extreme to the other extreme, time has changed, moved. And he is the same, unperturbed, like a painted lotus on the canvas sheet. He continues to be tranquil and serene. That is Sri Ramachandra. How could he be on account of his Sausilium? Sausilium is modesty. Sausilium is humility. Sausilium is acceptance of things as they are. Yadrucha labha santushtav. Things do happen. How are we to face them? Receive them. You cannot run away from them. You cannot resist them. You cannot swallow them. Be cool, be calm, be tranquil, be steady, and the things are to be received as they are. This is possible only to a person of sattvic nature. And that sattvic nature or calm nature or tranquil nature promotes modesty. With all modesty we submit. This submission sometimes is with reluctance. When you think it is fate or destiny, when we have to submit to the fate or destiny, there is a little reluctance. Normally, we find people saying, it's my fate, it's my destiny, it's my karma. There is unwillingness to submit. There is no spontaneity in submission. Only a person of modesty, only a person of Sausilium, only a person of assimilating nature is capable of submitting. Then the person does not call it fate or destiny or karma. He sees at it as divine grace. Things do happen. It is only our attitude to the things changes. We can resist, we can frown, we can run away, and we can submit unwillingly, we can surrender gracefully. Only a person of Sri Rama's stature, only a person of Sausilium can submit. When he was asked to get ready for the Yuvaraja Pattabhisheka, he was just cool. It is all divine play. It is Bhagavad Anugraham. And next, within 24 hours, the order was reversed. Appointment, disappointment. When there is appointment, there is a likelihood of the disappointment. No appointments, no disappointments. Receive the appointment with all modesty. With equal modesty, you receive the disappointment. Whether we like it or not, the polarity does take place. Jatasya hi dhruvo mrutyuhu. Everybody born is sure to die. Birth cannot be removed from death. They are together. Success and failure, rise and fall, up and down, rich and poor, favorable and unfavorable, success and failure. In the giant wheel of time, these things do happen. If Summer comes, can winter be far behind? If winter comes, can spring be far behind? They are all to take place automatically. Wise people, divine people, modest people, people of Sausilya, accept them as they are. And that is Sri Ramachandra Prabhu. And this Sri Ramachandra Prabhu was able to accept things as they are. A step more, accept them not only with willingness but with a positive grace. When Sri Ram was asked to go to the forest, he was ready to receive the order, he was ready to quit the palace, he was ready to go to the woods. He welcomed. Within few minutes, he changed his clothes, robes fit to be in the exile he put on, and then he thanked Kaikeyi. Ma, it's a blessing. He thanked the stars. It is a blessing. The kingdom is a cage. It's a bondage. I will be in the prison house of the kingdom. Now you have released me. You have granted me freedom. The crown is but a crown of thorns. The bull dragging the cart, pulling the cart, will feel the strain of it. The bull released from the cart feels free. I am like that. Had I been the prince or king, I would have been burdened with the responsibilities of administration. Ma, you are really a divine person. It is the grace of God Almighty that I am blessed with this so-called exile. So there are two steps. A modest person surrenders himself completely to the grace of God. There is a shade of little unwillingness when we submit to fate. So look at every activity, look at every change as divine grace. Then we feel full, then we feel peaceful, then we feel blissful. Sri Rama is that. Next step, see the positivity in it. It's for my well-being. It is for my betterment. It is for our peacefulness. See something beneficial in every activity. Number one, to face it coolly, to accept it willingly. And the second is to look at it with positive approach. Sri Ramachandra Prabhu thanks Kaikeyi. The Sri Ramachandra Prabhu thanks his stars. And he feels full, highly grateful to the divine grace. That is Sausilyam. A person of modesty, a person of sattvic nature, a person of humility submits willingly, happily to the divine grace and sees in every action something profitable, something benevolent, something very generous to him or her. This is Sri Ramachandra Prabhu. When he is ready to go to the forest, he is very, very happy, and he is surprised to see Sita Devi by his side. And she said, "My dear Ram, my dear husband, I am with you." He could have accepted initially, But he was so kind, he was so generous that others need not suffer along with him. There is a shade of strain. He can face it. He can see the positive side of it. How about her? Sita Devi is tender. She is delicate. She is a young girl. She is brought up only in the palace all through her life. She has not seen the hardships of a forest life. Sri Ramachandra Prabhu and Lakshman were with Vishwamitra Maharshi in the woods. He has had some experience of hard life in the woods. But Sita is very delicate, very tender, highly sensitive. She may not be in a position to put up with the strain in the forest life. Therefore, the loving Sri Ramachandra Prabhu says to Sita, my dear Sita, please do not come with me. In the forest, you do not have any comforts. You do not have any luxury. You do not have food. You do not have anything favorable. And above all, there may not be sufficient privacy for you. Please do not accompany me. He went on discouraging her, dissuading her. But Sita persisted. She insisted that she should be allowed to accompany Sri Ramachandra Prabhu. The argument was going on between Rama to discourage her and Sita to insist upon her going along with Ram. At one point of time, Sita said, my dear Ram, you are not to blame. My father is to be blamed. Why does she bring her father into the picture? Sri Rama was telling, my dear Sita, why do you bring your father into the picture? And Sita says, my father, not only my father, my mother, not only my mother, all the citizens of Mithila looked at you when you were coming to Mithila along with Vishwamitra Maharshi. Everybody was enamored of your personality. Everybody was fascinated by your figure. Everybody was drawn to you as though they were being drawn to a magnet. So powerful, so majestic, so dynamic, so attractive you were. And all the people were of the opinion that you were a great warrior like your father. Sri Raghavam, in the family of Raghuvamsha, here is a lion, here is a tiger, everybody felt. Dasharathatmajam, the son of Dasharatha, like Dasharatha is bold, valiant and adventurous. Never does Dasharatha know any fear or weakness. Such is the trait you inherit from your father. That is what everybody felt, including my father. Finally, they all thought, Ajanubahum, a person with long hands, capable of reaching anybody, capable of handling anybody, capable of killing any enemy. Ajanubahum. And a person of wide vision, a person of foresight, a person of far-sightedness, Aravinda Dalaya Takshanam, a person of large eyes. Large eyes are to denote wisdom. They are to show that a person is far-sighted and foresighted. And people of my place thought that you were very handsome on account of your eyes, and you are a great visionary on account of your foresightedness or farsightedness. Above all, my dear Ram, You were looked at by all, especially by my father, and they all thought Nishachara Vinashakaram. Nishachara is a Rakshasa. Nisha is a night. They move about only in the nights. They are ignorant. They are dark. They are steeped in vices, wiles, wickedness, and that Nishacharas are scared of you. Nishachara Vinashakaram. You are capable of killing them all. That's the faith my father had. That's the faith my people had. That's what I too believed. But today, I discover, my dear Ram, hitherto I had been of the view that you are a manly person, Pumsam Mohana Rupaya, and you are a great warrior. Now, when you ask me not to come with you, have you lost your confidence in yourself? Have you become a little diffident? Are you incapable of protecting a woman, taking care of a woman, looking after a woman? Now I think, Striya Purusha Vigraha. You are more feminine. You are more like a woman in the disguise of a man. The manliness is only in your appearance. At your heart, you are a little cowardly. You are a little diffident. And therefore, I find you, Striya, woman, Purusha Vigraha in the disguise of man. Any person in the position of Sri Ramachandra Prabhu would have been annoyed, irritated for the comment Sita Devi had made, Striya Purusha Vigraha, a person of Sausilium, a person of accepting ability, a person of humility, a person of boundless love. He said, yes, Sita, please come. There lies the greatness. Similarly, when the same Sita Devi in Panchavati asked him, requested him to get that deer, he readily said, yes, Sausilium. When Lakshmana resisted, when Lakshmana said, no, it may not be a genuine deer, and then Sri Rama said, we have been here in the exile for more than 10 years now. So far, Sita Devi has not requested us for any gift, any comfort, any facility. She was of such adaptability. She was never a burden to us, nor was she of any desire. For the first time in the forest, she looked at that golden deer and she asked for it. Should we not fulfill her desire? And that is Sausilium. A man of Sri Rama's stature did not find fault with Sita when she said, Striya Purusha Vigraha. And again, the person of Sri Rama's stature was willing to come down to the level of an ordinary person to fulfill the desire of the beloved wife. He did not keep himself away from her request. And when Lakshmana volunteered to bring it himself, Sita wanted Rama to bring it, and Rama readily agreed. The Sausilium, the modesty of Sri Ramachandra Prabhu is at various levels. Number one, receiving things as they are. Number two, see the positive side in everything. Number three, never to get annoyed at the happenings. Number four, keep himself available to fulfill the desires of everybody. Sausilium is such a noble quality, such a divine quality that a person is elevated to the ethereal heights by the observance of that Sausiliam. Sri Ramachandra Prabhu today is divine. He is being adored. He is being worshipped on account of his Sausiliam. We, the devotees of Sri Ramachandra Prabhu, find Rama to be of extraordinary ability, Swamitvam, to be a person of accessibility, Saulabhyam, to be a person of modesty, humility, Sausiliam, to take care of us with sufficient self-respect of ours maintained, and finally he is of boundless affection towards everybody, Vatsalyam, Swamitvam, Saulabhyam, Sausiliam, Vatsalyam are the special traits of a divine person, and Sri Ramachandra Prabhu has all the four of them. Therefore, we consider him and worship him as God, Sri Rama Avatar. May we all stand in adoration and worship him. Mangalam Kosalendraya Mahaniya Gunatmane Chakravarti Tanujaya Chakravarti Tanujaya Sarvabhaumaya Mangalam Mangalam.
My grateful thanks to Professor K. Subramaniam ji for his beautiful insights on Sri Rama Sausiliam. Meet you tomorrow again. Namaste.